Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Hello to all AFM students. I hope all of you are doing well. I know, students, all of you need a comprehensive revision strategy for your AFM subject. Now, first of all, you must be very much relaxed. With this session, I will guide you to important things. Number one, what are the key rules to get success for AFM subject? Number two, a grand revision planner for the remaining days. So first relax and invest your 30 minutes with me. Number one, let's start the session. The first point, AFM success rules. Whatever the success rules point I'm sharing here, you have to obey all these rules before the exam. And of course, if you obey these rules, that's definitely impact on the exam day. And may Allah willing, you will easily be able to pass your exam. So number one, first of all, make sure that the success variable, the AFM success variable is based on two components, two variables. Number one, knowledge of 100% syllabus. Number two, exam techniques. If you learn only the knowledge of syllabus, if you are not able to apply exam techniques, it's not possible to pass exam, and vice versa. Both are important. So the point is that, sir, at this point, how any of the student make sure that he or she have covered the entire knowledge? Don't worry. The later part of the session, I will give a comprehensive guidance. That's called checklist, syllabus checklist. I will give you the syllabus checklist and the core revision questions, which you need to focus and become able to ensure that almost 100% syllabus you people have covered or would be able to cover. So knowledge point, later part of the session. First, we will cover the exam techniques. Make sure that you are practicing the question by applying these exam techniques as well. Techniques with viewpoint of calculation and theory both. So come on. Exam techniques. These are the 3 points with respect to the exam techniques. Number one, the first exam technique I have mentioned here, 50-50. I'm not discussing the point how much time remains. But the number one point, accept this reality that whenever you face AFM exam, at least 50% part it's about theory and 50% calculation. Maybe 50 to 53% of the theoretical aspect, maybe 55%. But bare minimum 50% theory, 50% calculation. So whatever the time remaining, you have to invest your remaining time either for knowledge, either for revision, either for mock. Make sure you are investing your time in a manner that 50% belongs to calculation, 50% for theory. If your brain works with this manner over the remaining time, that's clearly reflect the thing over the exam, to the exam. So accept this reality and prepare your mind and invest your time in this manner. If someone worry here, so do reply me. If you just worry and with that stress, you waste your 10 minutes. So what after 10 minutes, what you will be able to gain something? Nothing. Instead, don't be afraid. and relax and invest your remaining time in a manner whatever I am saying here, whatever I'm advising here. First rule is that accept that this reality 50% is about theory, 50% calculation. I will give you the guidance how to handle the theory, don't worry. But first thing is that exam technique about calculation. All of you people must have to learn about the smart way of calculation. Must have to learn about smart way of calculation. That means smart way means must use all spreadsheet functions. For example, sum formula. It's very simple and most usable. For example, spreadsheet functions using for the calculation of the inflated cash flows, drag the cash flows, save your time. So learn means do practice by using the spreadsheet functions and also using shortcuts. Using shortcuts. All of you know know that NPV calculations having a shortcut. IRR, MIRR, CAPM, either CAPM by sorry, cost of equity, either cost of equity by CAPM or cost of equity by Maudsley Miller. Both you can use the shortcut method. In fact, KE by Maudsley Miller, the shortcut method is a new development that's introduced the last semester, the new formula. If you are not aware, you can use this video. Don't worry. The Excel file will be available at the description side of this particular video. Preposition 2 shortcut. You must have to watch this video and able to learn how to apply KE by preposition 2. BSOP calculator. You must aware about BSOP calculator. So this is what a smart way of the calculation. So this is what called calculation smart techniques. Further, I wanted to add here, whenever you are working with calculations, don't ignore to attach labeling. Labeling is also very much important. For example, there's NPV table, and with NPV table, section B type question, for example, NPV table, and you mention working one, for example, working one for the working capital, working two for cost of capital. So right hand side, if you're working with the working capital, you have to label working one. Right hand side, if you're working with the cost of capital, let's suppose, so you have to mention that you have to label working two. Furthermore, for the report writing, you have to label appendix 1 is NPV, appendix 2 working, appendix 3 other requirement. And whenever you are writing report on the word processor, you have to refer that label. Sir, is this the smart technique or the exam technique? Yes. Why? You know very well, 80% of the marks is technical, 20% 20% for professional skill marks. 80 marks technical, 20 marks professional skill marks. So one of the student, if calculate NPV and using a spreadsheet function, using shortcut, adding the label, so student not able to get only the technical marks but also the professional marks. So students, you don't need to invest any extra time for professional marks. If you're working with this shortcut and smart ways and labeling for the calculation, you are actually uh, catching the marks of technical plus professional skill marks. That's called the smart way. Another student not using the spreadsheet function, not using the shortcut, not putting the labels or the references. So that particular student only getting the technical marks. So make sure you are practicing the question in a manner to apply this calculation smart ways. Number three, sir, also tell us about the theoretical aspect. How to work out with the theory. How to work out for the theory. Are you afraid for the theoretical aspect? Why? Why people are afraid? Because you ask yourself the inner reply that you haven't invested enough time for the theoretical aspects. But don't worry about that. If you really wanted, still at this point of time, really wanted to catch all theoretical content, I am giving you some important advice. It's a part of exam technique. You must have to satisfy yourself in a way. For this purpose, you need to invest 7 to 8 hours, maximum 7 to 8 hours. What you should do to get the complete knowledge? Open the study hub. Open the study hub. Don't open the Kaplan book. Don't open any notes. Don't open other any other material. Only the study hub. For example, this is chapter number 1. You start. Open the system. This is page 1, chapter number 1. Students, just quickly read and go through the text material. Quick. To achieve organization goals. And read these material but not mugging up anything, but not memorizing anything, but read just like a newspaper. If I ask a question to you, if you ever read the newspaper, so at that particular time, are you people trying to learn something, memorize something? No, it's just a part of the theoretical aspect. Open this content, read it quickly. Financial management. Only the theoretical content. For example, quickly, some of the aspect you have already covered, some you haven't covered. For example, with the ignore the articles. For example, you're working with this second chapter, behavioral finance. Go through the behavioral finance. Okay. If you're covered, okay, go ahead. For example, if this is a calculation, no need to stop, no need to work out anything about calculation because your focus here is about the theory. Ignore calculation. Go on. Ignore calculation. Then assumption, DEVM, quickly go through just to get knowledge. Because your paper is about application of knowledge. It's not about learning of the knowledge. So if ignore calculation, but some theoretical aspect, yes. Quickly go through the theoretical content. Ignore calculation. Yes, this one theory. Quickly. Second, back. Invest for a study hub. I must say maximum 7 to 8 hours. If you invest dedicatedly 7 to 8 hours, believe me, if any of the students having a fear that I haven't covered the theory, that matter become resolved and you become very much confident. I must say, you will feel the difference. So first thing, you need to do that if you have a fear about the theoretical aspect. So once you overcome this fear, the second point is about drafting technique. The point is that why students are so much concerned about the theoretical point? Because they are so much worried to start drafting. But do reply me. If you don't have knowledge in your brain and you just wanted to learn drafting, so is it possible for you? No. If you don't have knowledge of what you will draft, so first overcome this fear. My recommendation is a study hub. You can, if you cover with the notes, that's good. Or some of the students have covered 40% theory from the notes and worried about remaining 60%. Do that work. Okay, once you get knowledge, then drafting. Drafting, what are the techniques to draft the knowledge? That's I will already attach with the second phase of this video. But quickly, I must say here, do remember that this paper, it's not about to learn anything. Fearless working. Go and apply the knowledge, whatever you have, the knowledge you have with respect to the reading material and from the past papers. So that is all about application. Number two, whenever you draft your writing right now, make sure your answer must be relevant. Relevant means according to the requirement and according to the marks. Make sure you have understand the requirement very clearly and you are writing the answer according to requirement. Number two, you are writing according to the marks. If examiner asks for 7 marks, you have to write the answer with the 7 marks. If you know very well about anything, and for example, for 7 marks, you need to write 4 to 5 good points. But you say that I know very well about this particular area, for example, synergy. I will write more than 4 to 5 points. If you write more to 4 to 5 points, so do remember, examiner maximum give you the marks, that's 7. But if you are investing more time with that particular part, you are actually wasting the time because you will suffer at the end of the exam that your exam will not be completed. Okay. Number 3, application knowledge, relevant, and do practice. Theory practice. Students are so much worried, even very tiny thing about the calculation. Sir, this is 28.7. Why you mentioned 28.6? Why you people are not so worried about the theoretical matter? I must say here, make sure you have to invest equal time for calculation and equal time for theory for practicing. Don't run away. Okay, with respect to the theoretical matter. More advices I will discuss later part of this video. That's a point. So this is what about the first success rule point, that is knowledge and exam technique. Number 2, students, the number 2 points of the success rule is about simulation. Sir, what does that mean? In my dictionary, there is no word about the practice. I must say to my students that is about simulation. So what is the meaning of simulation? Simulation means whenever you are practicing any question, so do practice the question in a manner that you are actually sitting in the examination hall. For example, if you are attempting any 50 marks question, so you have 90 minutes. So first of all, log the time. In fact, first of all, avoid all distractions. The first distraction is mobile phone. And assuming you are sitting in the examination room, shut down the door, open the CB system, open the CB format. Don't even think don't even think to attempt manually. Open CB system. Do aware as much as possible for CB. Avoid distractions, open CB and lock the timer 90 minutes and do your best for theory calculation both. For theory calculation both. So this is called exam simulation. Sir, at the end of 90 minutes, if I'm only able to complete out of 50 marks, only the 37 marks, 42 marks, 35 marks, no worries about that. No worries about that. You are not machine. You are a human being. Sometimes you are best at upper side. Sometimes you are best at lower side. The point is that do your best. At the end of the time, maybe you complete 47, 48. Maybe you complete 37. Both are best. What a human being can do. Move on. Move on. Don't stop. Move on. That's a point. Avoid distractions. CB format, 90 minutes long. Sir, at the end of 90 minutes, if any student only able to complete 42 marks, relax. Take 10 to 12 more time. 10 to 12 minutes more and complete your question. And then compare with your answer. And let's begin the another activity. Let's begin the another activity. Then again, then again, then again, then again. Keep moving, keep moving. Never stop. That's called exam simulation. So in my dictionary, there's no words about the practice. That's important. Number 2. Number 3, mock. Mock. No excuses for the mock. The second rule is about individual question. But exam, whenever you sit exam, you will not face only one question. So exam simulation for one question is different thing. But the activities of mock is different thing. Same rule applies. Here, the marks 100, time 180. Why you people avoid the mocks? Don't avoid the mocks. Do the mock and evaluate your position. And I must say, you can attempt 2 mocks. Number 1, the mock of ACCA published mock. Number 2, the recent previous exam of ACCA. Latest exam paper of ACCA with CB format. So 1 ACCA published mock, second most recent ACCA exam. Both of your exam paper as a model, as a mock exam. You have to attempt that. Even you can do more if you attempt 2 last papers like this. If you simulate, if you do activity of mock exam as much as possible, you are more nearer to the success of the AFM exam, success of the AFM paper. You need to think in this manner. If you are going to attempt 2 mock exam before the exam, so assume the third mock will be your exam as well. If someone attempting before the exam 3 mocks, so consider the 4th mock will be the final exam. So that's the point. It's all about the mind game. How you prepare your mind and do the things accordingly. And do remember, if you are covering some theory from study hub or any notes, it's not possible to clear 100% at the reading time. The things will clear or the gray area become clear over the period of time, over the practicing more and more questions. That's a key point. 4, the golden rules. These are the golden rules I am telling you for the success. Golden rules. Now listen carefully. What are the golden rules? Yes, what are these golden rules? There are three rules you need to obey during exam. Number one, OFR. Number two, AA. Number three, don't stop, keep moving. You have to apply these three rules during remaining days before the exam and obviously the exam day. What is this? Number one, own figure rule. What does that mean? For example, students, if you are attempting any part of the question and that part having 6 steps, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, that particular for any part you are attempting, for example, the calculation of WAC or calculation of the synergy like this, whatever, or the forex. So you have done step number 1. So first step you have done, that's right. That's right. But you stuck with this point, third point. And you are worried about that. I'm stuck here. You feel, for example, this is one of the hardest part and you're stuck here. Or you are not remembering something, stuck here. What you should do? Number 1, relax. A glass of water. Remember your God, Allah. Recite some. Remember your God, Allah. And do your best. Do your best. Irrespectively, it's become wrong or right. Do your best. For example, if it's become wrong, you have done your best, but it's become wrong. No worries about that. The next method you have done right. Although you have taken this third part is connected with fourth part, but the procedure is right. But if the third part is wrong, the final answer of the fourth is wrong. Same for 5, 6. Examiner will give you 100% marks for the remaining 4, 5, 6. And examiner will assume your wrong figure and drag the things accordingly. But the condition is that the rest of the parts procedure should be right. This is called owned figure rule. So anywhere if you're stuck, what you should do? Don't worry about that. Relax. Because if you stuck somewhere and you become stressed, become panic. So what will happen? You stuck here, you do something wrong here, then maybe with this stress and panic, you attempt the procedures, you attempt the wrong procedure with 4, 5, 6. That's the reason of the failure. So own figure rule, it simple means there is no negative marking. There is no negative marking. In fact, there is some plus point for you. If something is wrong, okay, that is wrong. Based on that wrong, examiner will not deduct the rest of the parts. Even though the rest of the parts, basis figures are wrong. That is called own figure rule. This is a golden rule. Number 2, AA approach. I have assigned a name, AA. By the way, OFR term used by the examiner report. AA by Hussain Qazi. AA. Do you know that whenever you are sitting in the examination hall, for example, you have reached the examination hall and you have settled, and it's about 10 minutes remaining to start the paper. So you are preparing your mindset. In fact, you are approaching. So what should be the approach? Do you know that? What should be the approach? The approach is that I am here to attempt the appropriate exam, not the accurate exam. Your mindset, your approach must be that your exam must be appropriate, not the accurate. If your approach is this, appropriate rather than accurate, so you will be able to attempt 100% paper. If someone wants to do accurate, everything is accurate, maximum you will be able to 60-65 marks. Even examiner, it's not possible to attempt the 100% accurate paper. So one of the example of the appropriateness is the OFR. If you're stuck somewhere, do your best, move on. Last point, don't be afraid, don't stop, keep moving. आपने घबराना नहीं है, which means don't be afraid. Don't be afraid, don't stop, keep moving. That's a golden rules. So these rules you need to apply during these exam days, or during remaining days, and apply the rules at the examination point. Now, the time for the next part of the session, that's the complete checklist. This is a grand revision planner with a complete main content. Since last 8 to 10 semesters, examiner examine these areas of calculation and theory and some particular revision questions. Number one, key materials. Number one, AFM exam focus checklist, revision questions, and some material from my side, some videos, some suggested answers. That's some of the gift to all of you people. That's very valuable. For example, this is, by the way, for the entire syllabus: advanced investment appraisal, acquisition merger, business reorganization, financial reconstruction, forex, interest, and more specific theoretical areas. So first of all, how you will use these data. Number one, for example, if you say that advanced investment appraisal, make sure for calculation these 5 content you have covered. What are the content? Number one, NPV. So for NPV, make sure for NPV calculation you are good with respect to the complex calculation. For example, complex calculation, tax working, a regular tax working, tax saving from capital allowance, and some complications. For example, carry forward losses. If the loss happens, that's carry forward. If loss happens and it's not about the carry forward, so you can use as a tax savings. So for tax complications, for VAT complications, for inflation complications, dragging the figures, all the smart rules, make sure you are aware for the smart rules to calculate the NPV, short functions, IRR, MIRR, KD, that's through IRR, sum functions, dragging the values, BSOP formulas, make sure. Number 2, APV. What includes base case NPV? Make sure base case NPV, if you required KE, ungeared, there are 2 possibilities. MM proposition 2, new formula introduced. I mean same formula but shortcut introduced. That I have already discussed and attached the link for the video. CAPM method, KE ungeared, the beta equity, beta asset, you must be very much perfect. Financing side effects, basic aspects, there are 3, make sure that there are 3 components. Number 1, tax shield, tax saving from interest. Complications of the calculation includes simple annuity, delayed annuity, simple interest, compound interest, subsidized loan, that's very important. Subsidized loan, complications, effects of the tax, same year or delayed, that's important. Issue cost, internal, external, or take assumptions, all these things. BSOP, Black-Scholes option pricing model, make sure you are aware with the BSOP formula, sorry, BSOP calculator, but examiner is very concerned about the theoretical contents of the BSOPs. 5 variables, all important. You need to identify the 5 variables. Make sure you can identify the 5 variables from the real options. Further, foreign investment appraisal, the key points of the calculations, quickly review. Number 1, foreign-based investment, all cash flows, including foreign with foreign currency, including the tax aspects, including some imports from parents or management charges. Then exchange rates calculations, you must be very much perfect, it's very easy. Then after conversion, local cash flows, that includes number 1, local taxes, bilateral tax treaty, number 2, number 3, additional contributions, including the tax impacts. So basic calculation aspects. Then duration calculations, MIRR shortcuts, risk and uncertainty, especially the war and the sensitivity analysis as well. So that's about the calculations. Rest the theoretical part. Limitations, regularly examine. Make sure that you are confident with limitations. Do remember, don't just throw the knowledge. Okay, 4 to 5 common points for the limitations of the NPV, APV, but you try to connect with the case. Must have a very good command to calculate for the conclusion. If you don't have a command for how to draft the conclusion, I have attached a video of a question, Ton Patayo. With this question, I have advised how to conclude the answers. So conclusions, very free marks, very simple. BSOP limitations, real options, real option limitations, very much important, very commonly examined. Foreign investment, specific investment appraisal, specific risk, theoretical content, political, legal, exchange fluctuations, international financial institutions for funding, IMF, World Bank, Islamic finance, investment appraisal, project monitoring system, post-completion audit. Make sure you have a good knowledge about this. And for these are the revision questions. Sir, if we work out these revision questions, we will be able to review all the things. Yes, you will be able to review all the things. Assume that you have already covered syllabus. That's only for revision, these 5 questions. I have attached semester as well. For example, Little Bread, March, June 25, Zika, December 21, McKeever, September, December 23. And hardest, this is a copycat mock. That's the mock normally I conduct with the students. There is the question and answer. You just click this link. You will be able to find question, suggested answer of theory, and one Excel file for calculation. But I strongly suggest, if you haven't attempted that, you have to attempt it first, then compare the solution accordingly. For your support, I have attached a question, Ton Pantayo. This is the step. I strongly suggest you have to self-attempt by yourself, then watch this video and read this suggested answer. Video and suggested answer available with this link. If you have any confusion, you can ask me directly on my WhatsApp number 00923218271784. Furthermore, the second topic is acquisition merger. Make sure you have good command with respect to this calculation. Business valuation techniques, most examinable free cash flow and price earning ratio. But you have to aware about net asset based valuation, dividend valuation models, CIV model, important, these models, and dividend valuation as well. Then very common example, combined company value. You must have to aware that synergy or additional equity valuation, gain percentage with respect to acquired, all with considering all consideration aspects, cash, bond, share bonds, and the mixture. Same way apply with the target company. Very commonly examine minimum target price or maximum target price, minimum respect to acquiring and maximum that target to the acquirer. That's not suffering the shareholders' values. These are the theoretical aspect that's commonly examined. You have, I'm not reading it, you can read accordingly. These are the particular revision questions. You have to work out accordingly. But the exam attempts mentioned here. So will we be able to cover the acquisition merger major content? Yes. For your support, I have attached one particular question. You have to attempt by yourself. AFM December 22 with CB format. Then watch the video. Very valuable video. Huh? Read the suggested answer and identify mistake. Same case for business reorganization. You can read it accordingly. Have attached one question. That's one of the copycat mock of the June 24. AJ group. No. Yes. AJ group. You have to self-attempt first. The question is available here. In fact, the answer also here. But you have, if you wanted to get debriefing, that's a debriefing video. Same case for financial reconstruction. These are the calculation and theoretical matter. These are the revision questions. This one is the question for your support. So all these things. That's about the forex. Very tricky point. You must have to aware about the first thing is a code conversion. Make sure. Then the payment case, receive case, multi-netting, margin systems. That's important. And something about the theoretical matter. These are the theoretical matters, the commonly examined. These are the questions you have to cover. And one of the supportive matter for you. Interest rate risk management. These are the points for calculation. These are the common points. These are the theory and these are the practice questions. And for other specific theory areas, that's these are the some specific theory areas that you need to cover. Stock market listing, acquisition, merger, reason of failures, green finance, high growth startups, dividend capacity, securitization, dark pool strategy. For first four points, I will share a link here with this Excel file for a document for you people. It's not a video. It's a small catchy video of the YouTube where it's only mentioned how to click the link and get the notes of first 4 points. So that is what all about this session. I will attach another link here. Don't worry. This Excel file will be available after this video at the description side of this my YouTube video. So students, that is all about this AFM key exam techniques and the grant revision strategy. I hope that that's very beneficial for you. Collectively, these are 25 questions. If someone asks that, if we just focus these 25 questions, will we be able to cover entire syllabus? I must say, if you cover the entire thing, entire advice I have provided with this video, you will be able to get success. I cannot guarantee you because I'm a human being. It's not possible for me. Allah knows better. I can assure you, yes, you can pass your exam. Subject to that, you have already covered some areas previously. Huh? If you have any problem, you can contact me 0092 321 827 1784. Thank you very much. Take care a lot. Assalamu alaikum. Do remember me in your prayers.